Breakfast, Jack Prevet, translated by Regi Sirivardhan. Right. In this poem, Prevet discusses some aspect of modern life, especially how society maintains relationships among and between other members. Now, you know, modern society is highly complex, busy, and individuals have no time, enough time to be with other individuals, especially this modern communication has made people isolated, lonely, because they spend much time with their phones rather than with their friends. Now, this isolation, this loneliness, this separation among people, breakdown of relationships, lack of understanding, lack of communication, all these things are discussed in this poem, Breakfast. Now, breakfast is symbolic here. What is the meaning of, symbolic meaning of breakfast? Togetherness, unity, union, sharing, caring. They are the symbolic meaning of breakfast, right? Now, according to this poem, a man and a woman get together at the breakfast table to share breakfast. But you know what happens? The man, we do not know they are lovers, husband and wife, or a brother and a sister, mother and a son. But we know it is implied that their relationship is much closer to a husband and wife or two lovers. Now this man, you know what happens? This man, he prepares his breakfast and finishes it. He does not invite the other person, the woman, to share it. They do not even speak to each other. There is deep silence, no communication. They do not behave like a party, company. They behave like two individuals, two persons, two strangers, two aliens. Now that is the tragedy of modern society. People have become aliens, keeping away from each other, without understanding each other. It's very pathetic. It's very pathetic to see this breakdown of relationship between humans. Humans are social creatures, social animals. They cannot live a misanthropic life. What is misanthropic life? Living away from other humans, living alone, isolation. Human needs company. Human needs association. Human needs a family, right? Now, Jack Prevost shows how these institutions, human institutions of family, association, company, have come down, broken down in modern society. Now let's read the poem. One hero, one person of this poem, he poured coffee into his cup. He put milk in his cup of coffee. He put sugar in his cup of coffee and milk with his teaspoon. He stirred it. He drank the coffee. He put down the cup without speaking to me. Now in this first stanza, Prophet describes this person, man, his actions, his mood, right? This poem is written in free verse and presented from the first person point of view. Me, this person, me, it is the woman who reports this, narrates this event. She reports this man's action, his mood. Now he prepares his coffee, his breakfast. He puts sugar. He silently does it. Without paying any attention to the other person. You can see how distant they are. They are distant. They are at the same table, sitting face to face. But this man does not see the other person just before him, right? There is a great gap between them. This man does not even feel. The woman notices him. This woman expects his attention, caring. The woman expects that he would care for her. She keeps monitoring every event, looking at him, but this man does not look at this woman. He is just focused on his preparing milk coffee. He stirred it. He drank coffee and milk. You see how insensitive this man is. Insensitiveness. He does not feel. It's like a machine. There is a person looking at him. He does not see her. He selfishly enjoys his coffee and milk coffee. Right? He's not ready to share. He's not ready to share. You can see how far how distant their relationship is. They are behaving like strangers. They are behaving like aliens. They do not seem like two friends, two lovers, or husband and wife. No relationship is there like that. He put down the cup without speaking to me. Now you can see this woman is yearning, expecting, desiring this man's attention, but no attention. He silently finishes his breakfast. Now, what is the use of this breakfast? Irony. It's an ironic breakfast. Why? There is no sharing, there is no caring, there is no unity, there is no company. One man prepares his breakfast and finishes it without inviting the other, even without looking at the other. This is the tragedy of modern society. People have become isolated. People have become lonely. People have become separated from each other. They have no close relationships. People have become aliens and strangers to each other. That is the tragedy of modern society. The woman narrates further. He lit a cigarette. He made rings, smoke rings. After smoking a cigarette, he makes some smoke rings from his smoke from his mouth. Right? Now, this action is really symbolic. Making smoke rings, smoking a cigarette. It means this man suffers from some loneliness, isolation. Smoking cigarette gives him some self-satisfaction to get rid of this loneliness. The cigarette becomes his company. Cigarette. He is used to it. Right? He put ashes in the ashtray. He put ashes in the ashtray. Ashes, ashtray. They are also symbols. Ashes. Now the cigarette ends its life in ashes. Ashes means end, some death, some kind of death. Ashtray is some kind of barrier. Ashtray. Or death again. Ash. Now, what is the idea here? Their relationship ends in ashes. Their relationship ends in smoke. This is destruction, death of their relationship. He symbolically manifests by smoking a cigarette, burning a cigarette. Without speaking to me, without looking at me, you see, this woman is still expecting his attention, his caring. She wants him, but she has some weakness too. What is her weakness? She does not also speak. She does not break this barrier. She does not break the ice between them. She is also silent. She does not also have the necessary guts, strength, power to speak to this man. That is her weakness. She also suffers from the same problem like the man. Like the man. She is also silent. After that, he got up. He put his hat on his head. He put on his raincoat because it was raining and went out. You see, this man leaves the breakfast table silently. Now, what is the use of this breakfast? What is the use of this breakfast? The breakfast is organized to reunion, to make a reunion between the two persons. But finally, what happens? This breakfast separates them. Ironic breakfast. After finishing his breakfast, he leaves the place. He went out. The woman reports this in a sad, worried, disappointed tone. She's really disappointed. She's really unhappy, worried. Why? The intention of organizing breakfast comes to nothing, ends in smoke, ends in ashes. The man goes away. Nothing happens between them. Nothing happens between them. In the rain, he went out in the rain. Now you see rain. Rain is another symbol here. Symbolic of separation. Symbolic of loneliness. Without a word, without a look, you see the woman's expectations. She wants to be with this man, to speak to this man, to share feelings and thoughts between them, but nothing happens. Finally, she cries. And I put my head in my hands and wept. Finally, she cries. Nothing else she can do. What else she can do? She weeps. She cries. What a tragedy. Now, this is what happens in modern society between individuals. Between individuals. Right? Now, Jack Prewitt is worried about this pathetic situation of modern people. Now, that is the idea of this poem, Breakfast. It's a mirror. This poem is a mirror that reflects tragedy of highly complicated, complex, disorganized social system in modern times. Disorganized. There is no organization between men and women. Between men and women. It is decadence of human society. Jack Prewitt shows. Decadence of relationship, friendship, decadence of communication, sharing and caring, complete destruction of human society. Now it's happening now. It's happening now in every country, every city. It's happening now. Okay. That is the main idea of that poem.